In this video, we're going to show using the VBA macros to do some extra annotations here in my survey file. And what I've got here is I have just some lines shot. I'm using the EP code here, but what I want to do is I want to draw some 3D pipes here wherever I have this EP code drawn along. So in the macros, we have one of those written and delivered with a product. So if we go to Utilities Macro in MicroStation, we're going to go to the Project Manager, and the first thing we're going to do is open up that MVBA file, and this is the one we deliver with the product. And once that opens up, we're going to grab the survey one, and we're going to choose the editor there. Alright, so in this survey macro file there, we have some different options, some different modules. And the one we want to do some annotation here. And to find out which annotation, I'm going to go up here to the declarations drop down. I'm going to hit the drop down, and I'm going to look through to see if any of these are close to what I'm wanting to do. There's some linear pipe flow arrows, manholes, and here's one called pipe. So if I click on that, it's going to give me a good description there. This macro will draw a pipe along the linear feature. That's exactly what I want. And it gives me the example of the command of the parameters I need to pass to it. So I'm just going to actually copy this out of the editor here, and so I can paste it into my survey settings. So I'm going to choose copy. So once I know the name of the macro to call and the parameters to pass, I'm done here in the VBA editor. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to come over to survey, and I'm going to go to my, let's go ahead and delete this field book while we're here on the survey tab. I'm going to go to my civil standards, and I'm going to go down to my under project settings. I'm going to go under point coding and right click on point coding and choose properties. In the properties for the survey settings here under use VBA macros, I'm going to set that to true. And then in the VBA macros themselves, I'm going to add a new one. And the object type is going to be linear. The feature definition, I want to add that on. If I had one called pipe or RCP or whatever you're using for your feature code, you would type it in there. And then this VBA macro is where you're actually going to pass the argument. So since I copied it out of the editor there, I'm going to paste it in here. Let's make this column a little bit bigger. And you can see that those are the parameters. So the only thing I really have to concern myself here is the size. This is 22 units in size. That's going to draw a pretty big pipe for me. I believe it's 22 feet in the DGN file I'm in, so it'll be good and we'll be able to see it. But you'll pass, that'll probably be the only thing you'll change, and you can just edit that here in the VBA macros dialog. So we're going to accept that. So once we have VBAs set to true, we have our parameters set to pass, then we can now just come in and re-import our file, and it'll run that extra annotation for us. So I'm going to go back to survey, create my new field book. I'm going to load a text file here using Text Import Wizard, so give me 1 second here to open up my TIW and finish. Okay, and we can see now that when we imported our file, it read the VBA macro, and it's placed our pipes here, and if we measured, I'm sure the diameter of this pipe, we'd get 22 feet. So we have, but it's easy to see here in the drawing file what it's done.